What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking another look at Alaloth. This is a game that we covered about a year ago, and I decided to swing back on through and see what the early access has been up to. Now, this 2 or 3 hour journey, I've played the game for about 3 hours now since I came back. I've been kind of like quietly playing the game and taking little notes and like noticing things that probably need to be shifted around or maybe fiddled with. But I can say that I did enjoy my 3 hours with the game, despite the things that jumped out at me as being like odd. Like the best way I know how to describe this game to anybody that hasn't played it before. But did you ever play like a Piranha Bytes game? Alaloth is a chip off of that block. Like if you've ever played Elix, if you've played Risen, if you've played Outward, if you've played Gothic, if you've played any of those games, Alaloth is a chip off that block, and you will instantly know what I'm talking about. Like, this is not a game that does everything perfectly. This is not a game that is, like, hyper-polished in every single way. But this is a game that has a lot of heart, and it's the kind of game that really leans into it. Like, it's like the final boss of Piranha Bytes games. Like, someone said they didn't like Piranha Bytes games, and Alaloth heard that and was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna Piranha Bytes even harder. Yeah! And started powering up like a Dragon Ball Z guy to create, like, the ultimate Piranha Bytes janky experience. That would be Alaloth. This is a game that is utterly, like, riddled with typos. It kind of has floaty, weird combat. It's got an open world that doesn't really tell you exactly what your goal is or what you're supposed to be doing. All you really know is that there's, like, a big bad guy demon living at the middle of the map. We'll skip over that real quick. Like, all you know is that there's, like, a big bad evil demon guy that lives in the middle of the map, and I think we have to, like, conquer locations in order to defeat him. But more than that, I can't honestly tell you. This is my character right here. I can't zoom in very fast. That's about as far as I can zoom in. But he is a dwarf named Splattercat, because this game allows me to be a super cool, heavily armored dwarf. Therefore, I jumped on that opportunity instantaneously. And the cool thing about dwarves in this game is that they actually got the body proportions right. One thing that I've noticed about dwarves is, like, stylistically, they always make them super lumpy and weird looking when it comes to their proportions. Whereas, like, in this game, the dwarves look exactly how I envision them in my head. They have, like, normal proportions, but they're, like, beefier, half as tall human beings, basically, with broader shoulders. Like, they look just right. I love the dwarves in this game. But I think what we're supposed to do is conquer various locations, because I conquered locations, and that's the only way that I've found so far to level up my characters. I've done quests, I've done missions, I've done all kinds of things. Not a single one of them has given me XP, but defeating a dungeon and claiming it for the forces of the dwarves, that was right on the money, gave me a level up. So let's go ahead and spend those level ups, actually, because I'm interested in seeing what the progression looks like. So it looks like we have a number of points we can put in right here. So it looks like every single time we level up, we get a stat point. We can go with strength, constitution, dexterity, and it looks like intelligence. I think those things do exactly what they say on the tin. I will more than likely give myself some more health, because I feel like I hit hard enough right now, but I feel like I get hit really hard too. We could take a trait right now. So there's offensive traits. Oh, I don't have any legacy points. Never mind, I can't do that. I also did not get any proficiencies, so I can't do anything with that just yet. I did, however, get a skill point, which means that I can choose to go with, like, the way of arms, or I can do the marksman path, the guardian path. I can intimidate the enemies around me with a battle cry. We've got the way of nature over here, which looks like a whole bunch of magic casty abilities. And we've got the way of the gods on this side. I actually kind of like, I want to be a cleric. Yeah, dude, I'm going to be a cleric. Give me a little bit of the old Healy magic so that I can fix myself. Now, this is an encampment. There's an encampment before you go into every single dungeon in the game. And what the game does not tell you, that's very, very important here, is that you can cook food and give yourself buffs before you go into the dungeon. You can brew potions if you have any recipes for alchemy. But here's the really important part that no one in the game ever tells you. Once you go into, I mean, maybe they did and I just didn't read the tutorial right. But this is the thing that, like, I didn't realize. Once you go into the dungeon, you cannot change your equipment, and most importantly, you cannot swap out your potions once you go into a dungeon. And since this game has itself sort of fancying being like a Dark Souls-styled adventure, where, you know, you take a lot of damage from getting hit, that's a very important piece of information that I had to learn the hard way. So let's go into Moonvale and see what we can get up to. Every single location in this game, when you enter it for the first time, it has a fully voice-acted lore blurb that's probably about a paragraph long, where they talk about, like, the history of this settlement and everything about it. All of the environmental design is done impeccably well, and I can say that the combat feels better from the last time we tried out the game. The combat in this game, reasonably simple, actually. You've got spacebar allows you to dodge, left click allows you to attack light, right click is going to make you do heavy attacks. If you look at the enemies out here, they have 2 meters above their heads, red and yellow. The yellow is their poise. When that runs out, they get stunned, and you can follow up. The red is their health. The combat is still a little tiny bit floaty, and you definitely get locked into your animations while attacking, so it's got a little bit of a lumpiness, a little bit of a floatiness. It could use a little bit more weight, it could use a little bit more clunk, but it has gotten better since the last time I played the game. It's clear to me that they've made improvements on it, but it's still not there yet. It still needs a little bit more work to get the fights feeling really fluid. Oh, Archer. Ow, dude! Alright, listen, you little bastards. I'm definitely not going to let you hit me. In addition, hitboxes can be a little bit generous in this game, both towards enemies and towards you, so watch out for that. You'll get the feel for it. It's consistent, so the hitboxes are not inconsistent. It's just that they're generous, and so it takes some getting used to before... Oh, you're healing? Hold on, I got to deal with this guy over here. We got to get the wizard guy first. There we go. The wizard's been taken out. We gotta get you now, maybe. Oh, that stunned him. Did it really? Okay. Oh, there's a lot of you guys. I don't know what you are, but you all seem very naked and very pissed off. I don't want to get shot with a bow anymore. So I think we're gonna have to get the archers. Ow, 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 ow. Everything hurts. Okay. Healing! That worked out great. I love that healing ability. Sir, I need you to die. Thank you. Ow. There is a parry system in this game. There's also like a bloodlust system. I don't know how to describe it to people that haven't played the game. But basically, when you get hit, your meter, it goes from red to gray in the bottom left-hand corner, and it depletes pretty rapidly. But if you hit an enemy while it's depleting, it will restore the gray area. So it's kind of like Street Fighter, but a little different. But it goes down really fast, so a lot of the time it's not like super relevant. Like sometimes I get the heal off, but mostly I seem to heal myself in combat by parrying and riposting on accident. As you can see, the environments in this game are very well done. They are drawn from inspirations of games like Baldur's Gate, things that had pre-rendered backgrounds. I am a fan of this. I have yet to walk into any town or walk into any city and not think to myself, this is a really good-looking city. All of the towns and all of like the communal areas in this game, they look and feel great. Oh boy, I'm getting pounded on right now. Okay, maybe I was a little aggressive there. Actually, I'm super out of stamina. Oh my god. Okay. I'm trying to avoid... I gotta drag these guys away from the wizard. Oh, there's collision right there. Okay, that's great. Well, this time, I'll try not to trip on the log and lose my entire health bar while I'm getting beat to death by tiny naked guys with round shields and axes. What a way to go. Death by nudity and axe. Alright, knock him out. If the enemy's shield is blue, it means they're blocking right now. You can also block and parry. So, like, if I did that right there, I get a counter blow, and then I can smack him up, basically. And the parry system actually works very well. It's very consistent. It works right at the threshold you want it to work every single time. I don't know if we're getting out of here alive, man. This hallway has made me very nervous. I got a bad feeling about how much worse this is going to get before it gets better. So, who's the boss in here? So there's a bunch of these little gnome guys. They're goblins? That's what they're supposed to be? Okay. And you know, we gotta get that guy. Like, the wizard gotta go before, like, everybody else. I'm going to drag these guys out to this choke point right here, maybe. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Luckily, they're all bleeding and stuff, so that... Oh, he was blocking. I didn't see that he was blocking. There we go. Wiped them out. I don't know what the big guys do, so we may want to play a little bit carefully with them. I don't know what their animation reads and things look like. They've definitely got a lot more HP than expected. Get him with a fast hit. So he's got like a little push charge that he does, and then he's got like that little combo right there. Let's wipe out the little gobbo. Oh, I was trying to get greedy and see if I could get his poise down. Oh, he blocked me. There's the poise. All right, we got the poise taken care of. You know me, I'm Hawaiian, so I'm a big fan of poise. We've got... Poi is a Hawaiian food. I don't know if that's like global knowledge. Poi is a Hawaiian food, all right? It's like a dipping sauce. It's like a purple taro dipping sauce. It's kind of an acquired taste. Most people that didn't grow up with it probably don't like it very much. But, you know, poi's pretty dope. Let's go up this way, and we've got a bit more loot. An elixir of might. I'm going to drink a potion, I think. Oh, that was it. We made it through the... I wasted my potion, dude. They're so expensive. All right. Is there anything else I can loot around here? It doesn't look like there's anything else that I can sort of like loot in this area. Anything good in the treasure chest? 351 gold. I'll take that. We got the harvester. It counts as a one-handed sword. Okay, we've got a lesser necklace of might. I already have one of those, so I don't need another one. We got an azurite ingot. This game does feature a full suite of crafting. So you will find crafting materials all over the game world. And what's more is you can take those crafting materials to different people of different races, be they elves, be they human, be they orcs, be they dwarves, so on and so forth. And you will be able to make everyone's kind of racial styled armor, and the constituent parts that you put into that crafting are going to determine what the stats are. And so, hey, we got another level up right there. What did it give me this time when I leveled up? So we got another stat point. That's good. I'm going to increase my ability. We may want like a little bit more intelligence just to go along with the fact that we've taken some magic casty boy business. But also 3% physical damage feels pretty sexy, so I'm going to do that. We do have a legacy point now, finally. So we can determine, and we've got, okay, so the legacy point can be spent either on a trait, or it can be spent on something else. Looks like proficiencies in a weapon. So we can decide if we want to use maces. We can decide if we want to use war hammers, if we want to use battle axes, two-handed weapons, various types of armor that make us stronger. I'll probably decide where I want to go with my proficiencies a bit later. It doesn't seem that hard to get like these extra points running through dungeons and whatnot. So for now, let me go through these traits and see what we've got here. I'd probably go with this guy right here. Stamina regeneration seems really nice, and making it so that I can sprint for a lot less feels like a good acquisition to me. I'm going to be muscle-bound. I'm going to be a muscle-bound dwarf, just like beefcake. You know, like I'm going to be yoked out and ready to go. I don't think we have anything else going on here, so let's go back to the world map and see what other activities are kind of in front of us. It's more than likely a good idea for us to go back to like a major city and see if we can do something here. I think you can also play this game like multiplayer, and basically everybody takes a champion of a different race, and it's like a PvP race to see who can conquer everything first and then challenge Alaloth, I think. I don't know if that's how it works. It kind of seemed like it was how it works, so we can fight goblins. Die, goblin scum. The Battle of Laraster Road. Gobbos, what you guys do? Oh, you guys got like a shooty boy. Oh, you've got a wizard in there too. Beautiful. Okay, so the wizardy mans, we gotta get him. There's just no way around. Even if I gotta take some damage to do it, we gotta get the wizardy mans. I'm all out of stamina now. Okay, goblins have terrible poise. Like, actually really easy to overpower them. You don't need to worry about looting things in this game. It just kind of like automatically adds loot to your inventory as you're killing enemies and wiping them out. So don't spend a whole bunch of time looking around battlefields to see if you can find goodies laying around. When you're in dungeons, definitely take a look around. Inside dungeons, there's little glowy spots, and those little glowy spots will have what you're looking for, but I got to go back to dwarvish territory and see what we can do. The game does have a timeline. I don't know how much the timeline matters. So the game makes a big deal out of the fact that every single one of these towns has like a daytime layout and a nighttime layout, and the NPCs and the quests and the different utilities and shops you can go to are different depending on whether or not you go into town during the day or at night. So right now I'm in at night. And because I'm in at night, I came here to turn in a quest to a guy who is standing over here because I have the quest done. But nobody's awake right now in the Hall of Kings because it's nighttime. We'll have to wait for the morning, unfortunately, before that gets any better. That's a bounty board. The bounty board just gives you generic quests that pay you like $50 to kill random mobs of varying types. So keep in mind that you may have to check every single town and village in this game, both in the daytime and the nighttime phase, in order to assuage kind of like a completionist bent that you may or may not have. You can tell right here from the quest log that, so it's got a little marker right there, a little diamond to let me know I have a quest that's done. There's also a little sun next to it that lets you know like, hey, you can only turn this quest in during the daytime. Let's take a look around town, and I'm supposed to be talking to somebody around here. There we go. I finally caught the daytime phase. Now we should be able to handle things around here. So my quest guy is down here. Apparently there was like a magic flower or something that's going extinct, and he wanted me to find one for his wife while I was adventuring. And I did find one. I found it way down in like a dungeon. I found one. So I wasn't expecting to find it. The quest wasn't really tagged or anything else like that. I just kind of like wandered around and happened to see a glowing thing inside of a dungeon and grabbed it. And it's for this quest right here. Time is running short. Rindu will stop. Okay, well, I've got your flower, man. Thank the gods. And Hone must have looked out for you in your journey. Give me a moment and I will arrange them in the way Rindula loves. Can you take it back to her? I need to finish up here and it's already late. She's in Quamoon. Where is Quamoon? I don't know where Quamoon is. I also need to take a breather, and I need to go talk to the... You can really only recover your health through using potions or sleeping at an inn. So I need to go sleep at an inn, and then I also needed to check a blacksmith and see if there's anything around here that I can actually utilize. So what does this compare to? It's got a lot more damage reduction, but it's a little bit heavier. We could get some new armor right now. I want the... yeah, let's get the Honor Guard armor. That sounds sick. I wanna get like a new armor. Alright, so if I put on the Honor Guard's armor, we're looking a little bit sexier right now. We don't have a helmet on, oddly enough, even though the armor icon says that I have a helmet. Maybe that's going to be added later on in early access, no clue. But the armor does have a helmet right there, so I'm kind of surprised I don't have a helmet on right now. That's going to use up a lot more of my weight, but that was kind of like one of the reasons why I picked up that trait that makes me able to carry plus 25. I want to sell the Harvester, because I'm not going to use it. I want to sell the Necklace of Might, because I already have one. I want to sell the Leather Belt, because I've already got a Belt of Might, so who cares? We've got a bunch of wooden fragments, metal scraps. Can we craft anything here? We could actually make a Bloodstone Ingot Mace, if we wanted to do so. What about a Warhammer? What would that cost me? It costs Dark Iron? Let's do the mace, because I haven't crafted anything, so I want to craft something. It looks like I can swap out the material for other things, too, and it'll change up the color of it, and it'll change up what stats it has as well. So that adds bleed chance, it looks like. Maze looks like Bloodstone. There's a lot of stats down there, though, to parse by comparison. So Aragonite looks like it stuns. It looks like this makes you bleed and has a stun chance on it. It looks like True Silver. Actually, I think it like fully moves everything around each time you do it. Wild. Yeah, make the... Oh, it's 2,100 coins to make that? That's a lot of coins, but you know what? I deserve a custom mace. I feel like I've been hustling hard out in these dwarfish streets. I feel like I've earned it. I feel like I've earned a custom Bloodstone Dwarven mace. It's unfortunately not very high quality, so this weapon right here actually does more damage. But this guy right here is my own. I made it. And so that gives it like a sentimental value that I feel becomes important in this environment. It looks like I'm supposed to turn this in down the hill inside the little dwarvish village down here. So we'll go down here. We'll take a look around. We'll see if we can drop anything off. You guys got like an inn or anything that I can use? We got the axes over here. We'll go stay inside the axes, although I am a little bit low on cashable objects right now, which worries me. All right. Every single town should have an inn. You just walk in, you sleep inside the bed, and you should be good to go. It will also swap the phases of the time that you are inside of town, so if you go to sleep at night, it'll be day, and vice versa, just in case you're trying to access certain vendors or certain people that may or may not exist, depending how far on into the timeline you are. Is that the lady I'm dropping this off with? Our stock is empty and won't be replenished for a while. I'm sure there's others that are willing to part with last-moment stock for a champion. As for us, we have nothing to give. Well, there's a vase. Don't tell me. Volrin put you up to this. I told him to drop this stupid tradition. It was nice at first, but now it's a nuisance. Now that the blossoms are gone from the path, he drops his responsibilities on others. Fantastic. What do you want me to do? Give them here. They aren't your problem. You've got other things to worry about than an old man's love. I'll give him a slap on the head. God knows he needs it. I'm sorry for him wasting your time. Okay, so she's like a realist. Oh, wow, we got like a whole bunch of... Oh, I got the recipe for cookies. All right. I bet dwarvish cookies are the boppers, dude. Dwarves always strike me as being like a rotund, muscular group of people that enjoy like rich, hearty, like I feel like all dwarvish foods would be way over the top. Like spicy dwarvish food would be so spicy your eyeballs fall out of your head. Like their candies are like so sweet that like a human being would be like, oh my God, it's so sweet. Like I feel like dwarves are the kind of people that don't do anything half-assedly. Like if they want, you know, something sweet, they go all in. Something savory, all in. Like they just send it. Something salty, all in. I don't think there's any other quests here. He wanted me to do something, and I forget what it was. That's what it was. This guy wanted me to go cut the scales off some lizard men and bring them in because it's cold, and apparently the lizard scales are really good for insulating armor. That's what it was. We've got some dwarvish bandits over here that want to fight us. Pretty much everything on the road is trying to kill you unless it's got like a little blue thing underneath it. If it's got a blue icon underneath it, it's actually not trying to kill you. But usually everything on the road is trying to kill you. I want you to die, please. Thank you. If you could do that for me, that'd be great. Kind of jump out of the way of that. Oh, I stunned him. Nice. Okay. Good little exchange right there. I'll take it. That was a really good exchange. Wow, those stuns are strong, actually. Those last a while. Okay, we're seeing the fortuitous generosity of the bonks right now. Just giving them the doinks upside the head. I need to find another easy dungeon that I can do because I'm not leveled up that far yet. And so the dungeons all have a rating on them from like 1 skull up to like 5 skulls. And so we're still on kind of like 1 skull right now, I think. What is that right there? Is that really bad? Like, how hard is this place? Because it's got a skull with horns. That makes me think that maybe it's nastier than the other places that I'm looking. I'm being chased by a lot of bandits right now. Like a lot. Like there is a real problem with brigandry out here. I don't know what that icon means either. Maybe it's just like the type of enemy you'll be fighting. No, because that one was goblins and it's got a skull on it. So I don't know. Let's walk into the toxic fields and find out if we just get summarily buried by whatever's inside of here. Death seems to like pass a couple days and it damages your armor.
In the heart of the forest, the iron poisons the land. Its scent approaches and takes the bravest around to their early graves. The roots and plants corrupted under the dragon's reign. Slaver of mortals, bane of dragons, the iron stands supreme.
I don't know if I'm down with fighting a dragon. That sounds kind of scary. I'm only level 3. I don't know a lot of things, but I'm pretty positive that level 3s don't fight dragons. Like, I've played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and never have I fought a dragon at level 3. We'll go to Skygate down here. It looks like Ratkins want to fight. All right, couple Skaven. I'll bury them real fast. I've got a bounty to bring their heads in anyways, so we'll get paid like an extra $100 for this. Ooh, they've got a wizard, huh? Okay. Oh, he got me. He timed it out better than I did. I don't even care if I take damage right here. I just need them to die. That's pretty much it. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Okay. Another one bites the dust. $50 for that guy right there. Nice. Another one down. Oh, he had a follow-up swing. I did not expect that. Either way, we got him. I'll just use like a goat head staff. Hey, anything that sells for money is fine by me. I am pobre right now, dude. I need way more cash. But I guess we're kind of getting towards the end-ish of the video. This is Alaloth, and actually I like it. Like, it's one of those games that, like, you take a look at the Steam reviews and you're like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But for somebody like me that really treasures playing things by Piranha Bytes, or games like Elix, or playing games like Risen, playing games like Gothic, or games like Outward, like, those are things that I look forward to when it comes to playing them, because beside that sort of jankiness, there's a sense of scale, and there's also a sense of heart in there. And so games from sort of that nebulous of open world RPG design, they tend to have little technical issues like combat that doesn't feel quite right, or like bad voice acting, or like quests that are busted and don't work, or like weird collision or clunky combat or whatever else. Like every single one of those Piranha Bytes style games has its own quirks, but I think what makes people like me and like the fan bases for those titles really excited about them is that there's kind of like a level of exploration and like a level of heart and sort of like a level of care with a lot of those games that, despite the fact that there's a lot of mechanical flaws going on in, the thematic things that they put the extra effort into tend to carry the day for players like me. I suppose that's the best way that I could possibly describe it. And I think that in the case of Alaloth, you do have a lot of those similarities with a Piranha Bytes title. Like, the combat and the movement feels a little bit floaty, it feels a little bit slidey, the blocking and the parrying feels really good. Like, there are things there that feel good, there are things there that are close, there are things that are off. But at the end of the day, this is a game where every single town you walk into has a paragraph about the history of that town and, like, the misfortunes that have befallen them. And it's voice acted. I can't tell if it's an AI voice or a real actor from some of them, but, like, it's there. And then on top of that, when you go into, like, these dungeons, they're beautiful. Like, the pre-renders look like something straight out of a Black Isle game from the early 2000s, or like something out of a Divine Divinity game, or like a Divinity Original Sin game. Like, the backgrounds look incredible in this game, and like the sound effects are well appointed, and like the magic spells have good effects. And so despite the fact that there are little things about this game that I think should be cleaned up by the time it goes to a final release, I found myself enjoying it. Like, I felt myself wearing a very familiar smirk that I don't think that I've worn since I was playing through Elix, where I was like, ooh, we got one on the hook now. I can't wait to get a little bit further on in. The character building seems to be interesting too. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there. It's a little bit granular when you're looking at the stats, and I think that the game has a tendency to not tell you exactly what you're getting. Like, I looked around, I took an ability that said it like unlocked tenacity or something like that. Like, it had a list of stats, and then it said tenacity with a little icon at the bottom that looked like I was getting some kind of status effect from equipping the thing. I looked around everywhere, could not figure out what tenacity did, and a bunch of the other abilities had like the exact same thing at the bottom. Like, that's just par for the course with games like this, and I'm sure as time goes along, someone will fill out a wiki with what all those things do. The point is that if you are a fan of like Piranha Bytes games or anything else like that, I do think you will enjoy Alaloth. If you're looking for something that's super streamlined and super polished, and every single segment is written like perfectly, and there's no typos or anything anywhere, and you want silky smooth, ridiculously sort of polished combat, you're not gonna get that from here right now. This is definitely one of those games that, like, it's got some flaws on in there, but despite that, it showed a lot of heart. And I could tell somebody cared when they made this game, despite the fact that there are a few things that are like a couple degrees off. And so, despite what other people might think about Alaloth, I kind of dig it. Like, I kind of dig it, and I kind of want to play it more. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what is worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, I was playing around with a title called Alaloth. It continues to be in early access, so keep that in mind after having watched this video. There is a distinctive possibility that lots of things are going to change around, and the developers have been adding new content and new dungeons and things like that, and it seems like they've worked on the combat since the last time that I played, because it does feel significantly less clunky-dunky than the last time I played it. And so things are moving around. This video will not be current forever, so check the date on it before you use my, if it's like 2 years from now, make sure you check the date on the video and maybe find something newer before you get your recommendations that's updated. But I had a good time with it. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for stopping on in, and that's about all I got for you. Bye, folks.